Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny and Juice. How are we doing tonight, Juice?
Feeling a little reserved, Daniel. A little reserved, but I'm here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk some wrestling. To anybody out there that's listening, we appreciate you joining us here on this lovely Thursday evening here at 7
Thursday.
p.m. on the dot for once. Look at us.
We're getting better. Don't expect it all the time, but we're getting better.
We did it.
So, for anyone who's never been here on a Thursday, this is our last point standing. This is where we talk about that's happening this week in wrestling, usually inside the ring, sometimes outside the ring, depends on what happened. But first, if you haven't already done so, please throw us a little subscription at the bottom there. We're at 4 out of 10. We'd love to get to 10 out of 10. We need to get Juice a new camera so we could do our side-by-side like we did on Monday that you all liked. And then last one standing, Jones over here. I'm telling you, it was, again, not as bad as usual, but I kept hearing it a few times. But anyway, subscription. Right. Subscribe, please, if you can. If you have Amazon Prime, it is free for you, helps us out. Please look in the chat for details. Also, thank you to Accept the Win for being the official band of the podcast. You hear them before, after, and during the break. So please give them a listen wherever they have their music, usually on Spotify, also on YouTube, and probably some other places. Juice.
Yeah, I got two more things to plug here real quick. If you are not familiar, viewers at home, it is September. Now, if you do not know what September means, that means all subscriptions are also 25% off this month. So it saves you a little bit of money if you do choose to subscribe. And it's 25% off for a subscription for 1 month. If you commit to a 3-month subscription, it's 30% off. That is only for this September. So we have about 2-3 more weeks to go.
Dope.
2.5. So yeah, if you choose to subscribe, now is the perfect time to do so if you don't have Amazon Prime. You just want to do it straight up. 25% off this month, 30% off for 3 months total. And if you do decide to hold it a little bit longer, next week, little reminder for all of you, the next 2 Monday nights, we will be live here on Twitch doing a tournament, the Marty Jannetty Invitational. We will have the folks over at Till 5 Wrestling on as guest judges, guest hosts with us. And it'll be Danny, myself, and Till 5 discussing who is the Marty Jannetty of all time. Which is not really the best or the worst, kind of just is whatever you interpret Marty Jannetty to mean in the grand scheme of wrestling tag teams. We'll be putting tag teams of all time head-to-head with each other and discussing here on the show which one we think is the Marty Jannetty of the team. So again, not necessarily the best or the worst, just the Marty Jannetty.
Always the one disclaimer. Yep. I remember to put Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels are not in the tournament because it is the Marty Jannetty Invitational.
Yo.
All right. Yep. So with that being said, let's get some last points standing up. Bam. Look at that. Looks all nice. All right. We got a little bit. It's still creeping in a little bit. I don't like that. Hold on. Sorry.
Look at all those points.
So we, as usual, are starting with WWE points. Juice, what's going on with Bork?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's back. He's been back. We've known that. But I believe this was his first appearance since SummerSlam. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
You are correct.
And he showed up, and he did what we thought he would do, or at least I believe I have it right. They did Sami Zayn versus John Cena. Apparently they were putting on, by WWE standards, a good match, a fun match, and of course, it ends in a no contest, not a DQ, as we learned on Monday's episode with the trivia. Ended as a no contest, where Brock came out and took out, I guess, both of them. I don't know if he touched Sami. I'm guessing he took out both of them. That's why no contest.
Yeah.
And then I think from what I remember seeing or reading, he just walked away after doing that. And then while walking out backstage in Gorilla, kind of looked at the camera and said, "You and me, WrestlePalooza, or I challenge you," or whatever. So the match is on. It's Cena versus Bork at WrestlePalooza. What are your thoughts?
I don't care. I mean, we talked about it. I don't care to watch Brock anymore. Cena, depending on the match, I'm interested, but like I would be more interested in Sami Zayn versus Cena at WrestlePalooza as a rematch than Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I'm just not interested in it. It doesn't really move the needle. I'm more interested in the next match at WrestlePalooza than this one as well. So,
Mhm. So my question to propose to you is, at this time, let's assume Brock beats Cena at WrestlePalooza. Um, or if you want, or even if you want to say you win. Basically, my question is, what's the last match at this point? My gut right now says it's Brock. I think he loses at WrestlePalooza. Cena. The rematch is in Saturday Night's Main Event, and then Cena beats him. Because if it's not Brock, I feel like it's going to be Cody, and like you already did Cody at SummerSlam again. I don't think you need to. So, what do you think the last match is, and do you think that's what they're going to do here with Brock?
I mean, it makes the most sense. Like, unless you're gonna put in someone over new and have like a real last second feud jam packed in there, I don't see it. And you know, what? Regardless of how I feel, people still like Brock, so they'll pay to see him. So I'm sure Cena leaving on a high note against Brock in his hometown, or I'm sorry, on Saturday Night's Main Event, is not a bad way to go out.
Yeah, because it's not in Boston. I believe that. I don't know if that came out before last week or after this week, but his final match is going to be Washington D.C.
Yeah,
it is not. It is not going to be in Boston. Apparently, that was because of money and what I guess they were looking for the highest bidder. And despite going for what makes sense, they went with the highest bidder, and it continues to be their downfall despite their record profits.
Yep.
Which is a whole other can of worms we're not going to get into this week. But Jay says Cena versus Nikki Bella. All right, yeah, I'd pay to see it. I guess.
I'd actually rather see that match. Yeah. I know that's a real
right.
feud. Oh no, I forgot to hit the timer.
Next up, Mr. Saved by the Bell. We have so I believe this one since last Thursday is new. AJ Lee is officially back in WWE after a 10-year absence from her retirement. Because she did retire. She didn't. That was the terminology used back then by her and by them. But yeah, AJ Lee is back. She, as we all expected, came out, went after Becky. And from everything I saw, Becky and Seth sold this wonderfully. They made themselves look like idiots and foolish and like flopping all over the place to make AJ and Punk look good. I mean, this is obviously, WWE is what it is, but this is the rare instance where, like, for me at least, this was legit nice to see.
Yep.
I'm a huge AJ Lee fan. Always was, always have been. So I'm happy for her. Obviously, the circumstances are whatever they're going to be now with the state of WWE. So it's unfortunate that she's there and I'm not going to be able to watch it. That's by choice, and I live with that. But yeah, it's just funny that you think of the trickle down effect because again, like, she'd probably be in AEW right now if Punk was still there.
Yep.
And here we are in this timeline. So, but they're doing the tag match at WrestlePalooza. This is a multi-year full-time contract for AJ Lee. This is not just a one and done or like a fall feud program and she's gone. She's apparently around. And I hope that they actually use her and give her some stuff to get her teeth into after this feud and story, because this is the layup story. It's important what you do afterwards, and not just throw her in NXT after 6 months. Everybody else lately. So what do you think? What do you think about AJ Lee? What do you think about the match and everything?
I loved. The only thing I didn't love, and we talked about this already, was it should have been on Raw because they just put it on SmackDown for Chicago just for the pop, but like that no one was a SmackDown superstar that was on there, so that kind of took away from it a little bit. But whatever. Getting away from that, it was really great to see her. She looked fantastic. She still has that crazy look in her eyes. It's wonderful to see.
Love her.
And she looks like she's moving well. She's obviously been training. She's obviously gotten, she's not too rusty, it looks like. We'll see how her first match is. It's going to be a tag team match. But it looks like she can move a little bit, and hopefully she just doesn't get gassed. That's the only concern you have after being away for a while. I loved I don't know if you saw any of the Raw promo, but the Raw promo I think was really, really good. They did a short little, mental health, I did everything for me, and that pop for real life, and then they went right into the story, baited Becky and Seth into the match, which was good to see. At one point Seth goes into the ring and like just tells her what's gonna happen. And she's like, "Thanks for mansplaining." I was like, "Oh man, that crazy chick!" Just like you could tell, that's so natural the way she said it. I love it so much. But no, it was really good. It's gonna be really fun to see her back. I think after it, she's gonna go on a one-on-one feud with Becky for the IC belt, because one thing she did say, she stole the belt. I don't know if you realize that also, but she stole the belt from SmackDown. She was wearing it on Raw. That's how she baited Becky and Seth to come out. But she said right away, she's like, this belt looks good. I can get used to this belt kind of thing. So I think that's going to be the first feud, which would be dope to see AJ Lee win the IC belt. Assuming that she can go and assuming that she looks good with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. So again, congrats to her. Happy for her, and hopefully she does well, gets treated well, and doesn't regret it.
Yep.
Next up, the Usos.
Ha 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 ha.
So this one I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
To kind of take the wheel on, because I'm a little confused, and I legit did not feel like diving into it to do the research or figure it out.
Okay.
What's going on with Jay? Because apparently, from what I was seeing online, is like he's acting like Roman. He's teasing being a heel, even though he's teaming up with Jimmy again, and their faces. So, what do you think's going on here? What's the long term? What are we doing?
So the problem is I don't know the long term, because I hope it's not another bloodline thing. Like, I hope it's not trying to be at the head of the table and then Roman comes back. It's like, yeah, you could do it and it's more bloodline shit, because I'm kind of over it. Real quick side note, I thoroughly enjoyed another Usos promo. That was fun. They haven't done one of those in a while where they go the back and forth and everything. So like, haven't heard it in a while. It was funny as usual. Jimmy broke as usual. So like, that was fun to see. But Big Jim. But I don't know where they're going with this Jay stuff, because like, he's still trying to do the eat stuff. He's still trying to do the face. I guess they're trying to change the direction to get him more of like a tween heel kind of role. He speared LA Knight last night after LA Knight kind of tried to make sure they were good and stuff. He was shaking Jimmy's hand. He got up, and then he was trying to fend off people. He had accidentally hit Jay before, and then he speared him, and it's like, now we're even and stuff. So it's like, he's kind of being a heel, but like not thoroughly being. I don't know, man, and I'm not really interested in it. I'm more interested in the Usos kind of getting back together and doing that thing, because I think they're better together than apart, and I think the singles runs for both of them has shown that.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. And it looks like now at WrestlePalooza, we are getting the Usos versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, where, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the layup is just to call them the Bronze.
They are called the Bronze.
But I've been hearing that they're being called the Bronsons.
Oh, really? No, they tweeted.
So,
I think Raw tweeted the Bronze officially after on Monday. I'm almost positive I saw that.
Yeah, the Bronze makes sense.
Yes, I agree.
If they're being called the Bronsons, that's, I don't know.
Stupid.
Okay, that's a nitpick from me.
No, that's stupid.
All right, so that's it with the Usos.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. AJ Styles. I don't know if you've heard about this or if you saw this.
I did see it.
Well, then you probably saw it online, because apparently, well, actually, no, probably not for you based on how you watch by your means. But apparently, AJ Styles cut a promo during commercial break that did not air in the U.S., and it only was shown to the international audiences. And his contract is up in February of 2026. That's come out recently. And apparently he cut a whole promo where he was like, oh, like the OC's not here anymore, Michin's not here anymore, and it seems like someone's got it out for me or doesn't want me here anymore or wants to get me out of here. And honestly, I've been down this road too many times with them, especially lately, where clearly I'm not buying it as like a real thing anymore. Like, clearly if it was going to be aired on TV, it was planned. This is a storyline. Something's coming from it. I don't know what they're going to do, because are you going to make them just go after like Pierce and Aldis, or is this going to be like a Triple H level thing? I don't really know. I don't know what the end game is with it, like storyline wise, besides like him staying or whatever, or just leaving. But it's a weird thing to start now in September if he's leaving in February. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to get your 2 cents on that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It didn't make sense. I thought it was a storyline the entire time. Like, I still think it's a storyline. I don't believe that this is. I don't, because he recently re-signed. It's not like he
Well, he did back in February for 1 year, and that's the one that's ending in
No, but
February.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you didn't want to be here, it's not like the OC were on TV a lot at that point. I think they were even
Well,
cut by then.
yeah,
Meechin had already been moved,
I'll
so like,
I'll I'll give you it's a weird timing because he's been alone for quite a while,
yeah,
and now so I'll give you that. Yeah,
it
yeah.
just
Okay,
it
all
just
right.
doesn't make
Continue.
sense. It like cool if you're trying to make this like one of those things where like you're pretending he's gonna leave or we want to threaten that. That's fine. They posted it also, I believe, on like WWE. I think they might have posted the video as well. So like if that's something that's a problem, you're not posting it. So just sorry,
All right.
I don't buy it, but I am interested to see what the storyline could be. I don't think this is another like wrestler versus the authority storyline because like there's not a real authority group
Mhm.
for them to challenge and wrestle and fight. Nick Aldis, like as much as he's kind of like stern, almost heel sometimes, he's not like vindictive enough to like just keep throwing like big men at AJ and like trying just to wear him down. So I don't know where it goes.
The thing that popped in my head just as you were saying that that they could be doing is this could be them finding a way to lead into like him legit full time for the next few months going back to TNA. Um,
Ooh, okay. I'd be
like
fine with that.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
He
I
has
don't know
nothing
what
left
else
to
you could
do on
really.
WWE, so yeah, let him go to TNA. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
watch
go to
more.
TNA or something international. You won't, but something international wise, maybe something with AAA. I don't know, but we'll see. All right, last point for the WWE, Bailey. Um, so this one we talked about a few weeks ago. I saw there was another promo on Raw. I legit did not watch it, but I saw there was a video. I think it was like 3 minutes long. It was too long for me to watch it. So honestly, I threw it on here for you to tell me what she said, what she was talking about, and what's going on with Bailey
Hold
at
on,
this
hold on,
current
hold
moment.
on.
We got some chat.
Yeah, we got some in the chat. So we have breaking news: TNA brings back six-sided ring and lucha ropes. If the TNA brought back the six-sided ring and AJ Lee within like a month of each other, AJ Styles within a month of each other, I legitimately at least would give the first episode or two a shot.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Before you continue, Danny, gun to your head. What channel is TNA on for you to even
Oh,
watch it
no
right now?
idea. No, not CW. Wait, I do know this. Oh no, they're not still on that because I don't think that channel exists anymore. I was gonna say Destination.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck trying to find it and watch it. All right.
Sir,
Freebird.
I watch anything live at this point? It's on the streaming. I see it all the time. I just never click on it. I can see TNA whenever I want.
Hey, we have more comments in chat.
Choose not to.
Freebird says Bailey trash. Hate it. Whack. Jay says they didn't. I just know AJ hates six-sided rings and lucha ropes. Oh, yeah, true.
No,
And also Jay did say the Bronze, good name. The Bronze didn't sound like a 12-episode sitcom from the WB circa 2002. And Freebird says there's a Samsung TV free channel that just airs TNA episodes. Yeah, Freebird, but those are random and old and over like a 25-year period. So I get your point, though. All right, so Danny, you got a minute and a half. Tell me about Bailey. What's up?
so to be honest with you, I agree with sorry, Freebird. It's just like I don't like when they break the fourth wall and like are talking directly to the fans and kind of shit. Like if you're trying to do a promo, like try to do the interview or whatever. Like I'm not a big fan of that. But also just like I don't understand really if they're going back to the hugging Bailey, cool. If they're trying to go back to like a more friendlier Bailey, cool. I think they just had AJ Lee and her like post a picture online together or something. I might have seen like I I'm not really interested until like I see what they're doing, and I don't think I'm interested in like the old huggy Bailey.
Mm.
Also, I feel like I might be wrong, but I don't think the announcers are really talking about it. Like the vignettes happen, and then the announcers don't follow up on it. So I don't know.
And I don't hate that. I don't mind that when announcers do that sometimes. It's okay not to like give a whole expose on it. Tony Schiavone. Freebird writes, nah, they're doing EDP Bailey and it sucks. That's amazing. If you're not familiar with that, Danny, EDP is emotionally disturbed person. Um,
I mean that
Freebird
makes
says,
more sense, but again, I don't know. Like, I don't know where it's ending because they're going through the personas and stuff. But like, is she gonna come out with a new persona? I don't.
yeah, I think what they're kind of doing with her right now is what they did or want to do with Bliss, where they're making her like a hybrid character of like former characters, and like they're gonna just see what works out. I don't know. I don't know if she's. Yeah, we'll see. I guess you'll see, and you'll report back or whatever.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. By the way, just a quick technical note. We keep going in and out.
Yeah, I know
the
it's my
screen.
fault because I keep trying to click on a window, and then one of our video gets blocked. So I'm trying to put the video
Okay.
in a spot where it's not gonna get blocked anymore. That's on me.
Okay, that's fine. Just making sure I'm reporting it in case it's something we did not know we can fix.
No, I think I
All
set
right.
it up right now, so I think we should be good
With
for the
that,
rest of the time.
that is the end of the WWE segment of our portion of our segment of our show. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dive into some AEW. And while we're on commercial break, if there's anything you think you missed by joining us later on or want to talk about from WWE, throw it in the chat now during commercial. When we come back, we'll bang on that real quick. See you in a few
Hold
minutes, folks.
on, Freebird, really quick, and we'll end on this. I don't care if they put a little cleavage in frame. It sucks. It's weird. I'm calling it now. This angle will not pay out. Keverlass says, I thought Triple H sent the Wyatt Six after you guys for hating laughing ass. No, it's my fault. See you later. We'll be back.
Back in a few, folks. Stick with us.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that little accept the win the entire time. I don't know what you guys are
Yeah.
talking about.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to pop my dick.
So we are back talking about AEW now. Juice, start us off with Mr. Eddie Kingston.
Yes. Give me one moment here. Just mixing something up. Crickets. Yeah, I know, Jay. I tried. It's okay. All right. So, first up, Collision. This past. Are you kidding me? Okay, well, I have a problem here. My All right, whatever. I'm gonna roll. Okay, I really liked Collision this weekend. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a very fresh episode. Very focused on shifting tides, doing different things. Um, for example, Eddie Kingston was called out by Big Bill in terms of being like the ultimate like New Yorker and like I want to fight someone from New York and I want to go at it. And apparently Eddie has tweeted back. Apparently like everything's cleared, paperwork, name the place, Bozo. I'm coming to find you and fight. So he might show up this Saturday on Collision. My first thought it was gonna be some sort of fake out where they were gonna do like the King of New York again with Jericho
Mm-hmm.
instead of Eddie and
Mm-hmm.
do Jericho coming back with this. It still could be something with Jericho, but yeah. So Eddie Kingston looks like he's due back, and after all the things, all the stuff and the talk with Gabe Kidd and Moxley and the Death Rider story, it looks like he's not going to be coming back into that. He's going to come back into a whole different lane right now. So, what are your thoughts on the imminent return of one Eddie Kingston?
Well, I mean, I hope it is something fresh, but at the same time, and we'll talk about it at the end there, but with how last night ended, maybe that opens the door for Eddie Kingston now still in that rivalry. So, like, I don't know. Even if he comes back, I don't know if it's going to be like a long feud with Big Bill or if it's just going to be like a one-off and then he goes pivots to it. Because I just don't see him not going after Moxley. Eddie Kingston will not address his enemies. I don't see him not going after Moxley. Like, with all that's been happening, all said and done, I feel like Death Riders are going to be one of his first targets. So he comes back, beats up Big Bill, maybe not, who knows, and then kind of pivots right to there. That's just what I think.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're doing the whole vengeance against the person that injured you thing, the target is Gabe Kidd.
Yeah.
That's the first. That's how it should be. But
Yeah.
maybe they're doing a different approach, and that's fine. So
That's
I'm
not very
happy
Eddie Kingston, though.
No, but still, I'm happy to see Eddie back. And also, he was called out, so maybe he was called out. He wants to address the challenge first, and then when he's back, he can get into.
Yeah, that's what I'm
people.
saying.
Yeah.
I don't say he's not going to face Big Bill. I just don't think it's going to be like a long thing. I think it's going to be a short, like, that he'll be his comeback match, and that's probably the only bit of the feud, and then they pivot.
Here comes a 9-month Big Bill Eddie Kingston feud.
That would be disgusting.
All right. Speaking of, now on to our next point, another very satisfying, pleasing return. It looks like we are pairing the Outrunners with Dalton Castle in a newly formed trio where they found him out in the woods while getting some R&R and training. They found him amongst all the boys and the peacocks. Harley says, can't wait to see Eddie Kingston. Yeah, it's going to be nice to have Eddie back, and it's going to be nice to have Dalton Castle back, honestly. I really enjoy Dalton. I'm a huge fan of his.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the pairing of him with the Outrunners, and I hope it leads to some fun trio stuff. At the very least, a Ring of Honor trios run. But we'll see. What are your thoughts on Dalton Castle coming back shortly and teaming up with the Outrunners?
Honestly, that's just going to be so much fun. Like, like, I enjoy both of them. They're both just like very high character, very extreme characters and very out there characters. So I think that's a really good matchup. I would love to see him get the trios titles and just have like a little run with that. I think that'd be a fun run once they're done with who has the trios titles now? I don't even know.
Well, the Ops have him in AEW.
Yes, the Ops. Sorry, thank you.
In Ring of Honor, it's Shane Taylor Promotions.
Ooh, and that might be technically an easier opponent, and that's a heel versus face thing. So that'd be a good start for them.
Yeah, probably not right away because they just gave him those belts. I don't think they want to.
Yeah, I mean they also need this team to build up a bit anyway. So this is not whenever those two collision courses hit.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it again between Eddie and Dalton. I was like, this is a good collision where like they're doing a lot of little things and moving things around and getting things set up that they don't really do on Dynamite anymore as often because it's so like big in comparison. If that makes sense. But yeah, I dug it. So looking forward to seeing Dalton back soon. Next up, we have our women's title match for All Out coming up next weekend. Very quickly approaching. And the women's title 4-way is going to be Toni Storm defending against Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Tekla. So, feel like this is the right match to do here after her big matches with Athena and Mercedes. I really, especially after the street fight this past week with Sky Blue, which by the way was amazing.
Oh my god, I loved it
I don't
so
have
much.
I don't
I have
have
a
it on my
question
notes. Yeah.
for when we get there. I have a question about the street fight.
I mean, it's not on the bullet points, so you can bring it up right now if you want.
Okay, so I don't know how it works. Can you staple a vagina closed like that? Because I have no idea.
Well, Danny, there's only one way to find out, and I guess we need to bring Tony Storm on the show to find out for sure.
I agree. All right.
Yeah, I think that's a fair question to ask her.
Thanks.
I think we'll get a perfectly in character response. Yeah, so this is the perfect match to do here. I really want her to lose it here, and if she loses it, I want her to be the one that gets pinned, not someone else beat someone else to win it. Obviously, with her doing the street fight and those big things, I think they're building up enough of her getting worn out and doing it. So again, I'd love it if Tekla won. I'd rather it not be Hater. I wouldn't hate Stat doing it. So either Stat or Tekla is who I'm rooting for to get it.
Damn,
what are
hater.
Well, just because she's won it before, and I'd rather
Fair.
someone like either being a heel, close to turning heel, or someone new be the one to get the rub from beating Tony here.
Fair.
So obviously with all this, Tony could absolutely end up just winning. But what are your thoughts on the match itself? Your guts? What do you think is going to happen?
So at first I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of lazy booking because I was like, come on, like what's her next feud? I want to kind of get there. And then when I kind of like thought about it more and I saw, and I think last night kind of helped me put it in perspective. It's like, all right, she can't have, because we were talking about it, she can't have these amazing one-on-one feuds going over and over because then eventually she'll have no one to face because, we keep saying how she can't be beat one-on-one at this point because of how good it's been. So, like, this is a good way for her to lose the belt. A lot of things are going on. It doesn't have to be a fluky finish. She can literally just get hit a bunch of times by finishers and, like, she tried her best to hold on. Or, and what I kind of hope, and I like the Statlander thing, and I agree that Statlander kind of deserves it at this point. So that's where I come out with Statlander. But if you really want to push this new heel faction, and we say this a lot of times with both WWE and AEW, and I think that's why they kind of dropped the ball. Like they build up these really strong heels and they build up these people, and then they don't let them win the big one when it can really help push them as like the leader. Tekla winning, especially if they help her, it's a fatal four. You can interfere. Both of them can get involved and help her out. Tekla winning is I think the right move, and I hope they do it. And again, I'm with you. I won't be upset with Statlander. She deserves it at this point. Hater, I won't be upset with because I like the new character, but I'm nervous that she won't stay healthy. But I think
what new character? To be fair.
Well, okay, I guess that's fair too. But I do think Tony, and I hate to say it, I think Tony needs to lose this. And, like, if they book her to win, you really have nowhere to go with her. There's no more opponents for her.
Well, I think what you could do here is you can have her absolutely squeak by, get the win, and not pin Tekla or Stat. And then the next match is then against one of them, and then they beat her one-on-one. I could absolutely see that happening. So I would not be shocked if Tony retained here. But it depends how they do it. So,
yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Ace Austin, who I think we talked about on here a few weeks ago. But in case we didn't, he showed up on Collision. He's debuted with AEW. He signed a contract. If you're not familiar with Ace Austin, he's a very solid talent, very good in the ring, entertaining on the mic. He wrestled a lot in TNA. He did a little bit. He was in like the Bullet Club branch of TNA. Bullet Club branch of the TNA branch of the Bullet Club. There we go. I got there eventually. And so I think between that segment, they know what they're doing. I think between that segment and immediately following it with the Juice and Gun segment where they got rid of the cardboard cutouts and Ace is talking about whatever cards are dealt and then or Ace up my sleeve and then they're saying cards are dealt. They're both using the card thing. I'm pretty confident that Ace Austin's going to end up rolling with them any week now, if not this Saturday on Collision. So I'm looking forward to it.
I am.
Are you familiar with Ace Austin? Do you know anything about him? What are your thoughts on him so far?
I mean, I'm not familiar with him. Last time was last time we talked about him was the first time, and him kind of being on AEW was the first time. I like his look. I like the character. I think he's fun. I think he's going to be good. I think that's a perfect fit with Bullet Club Gold. I wonder if they're going to do one of those things where since Jay White's out, this guy comes in, kind of takes over as the leader, and then Jay White comes back and they have a little feud about it. That'd be interesting, but, rinse and repeat kind of thing that's been done before. Or they just all work together and it's just, a fun new faction or a fun, better faction. But yeah, I just want to see I kind of want to see him in the ring more and really get to know, like, his style.
For sure. Yeah, no, for sure. And if you're not familiar or viewers aren't familiar, he teamed up with Chris Bay in TNA. Chris Bay is the wrestler who, unfortunately, about a year ago, had the neck injury and is alive and well, but apparently is done in ring or may not ever wrestle again. But either way, that's who he was partnered up with for a while. They were called ABC and Austin Bay Club, Bullet Club, whatever you want to say. But yeah, all right. So that's Ace Austin, and that is it for Collision. Moving on now to Dynamite. I threw this one first because it's kind of a whiplash throughout the rest of the night for me, and unfortunately, it's more of the same with Okada. Another random little tournament for Okada to have a pay-per-view match and fight somebody, and this one looks like it will pay off with some sort of story that's been teased. I just didn't think it would be this soon. So for those of you that did not see it, don't recall, the tournament is Kazuchika Okada facing Michael Oku, who wrestled at Forbidden Door. He's been on AEW handful of times. Okada's clearly going to win that one. Takeshita is facing... I'm drawing a blank, unfortunately. Do you recall who he's facing?
Takeshita... Anthony Bowens.
Oh, Bowens, yes.
Yeah.
There we go. So Takeshita is facing Anthony Bowens, where, again, with the story going on with Bowens, Takeshita's clearly going to win that.
Yeah.
And
with the story going on with Okada and Takeshi's clearly going to win that.
Well, that match with Bowens, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then the third one, we have the Beast Mortos taking on Mascara Dorada. Could go either way, but with it being a pay-per-view...
I think it's going to be Dorada, actually. Because I think you need to get that baby face in with the two heels.
Well, Mortos is over enough where he's not really even a heel either. That's the thing. I mean, I get your point. Technically, yeah. But, yeah, so it looks like it's essentially going to be Okada versus Takeshita. I guess this is Tony testing the waters for it. Feels a little random. I'm not crazy about it. Again, I think it's another tournament with much ado about nothing to get there. And it'll be good, but it continues to underwhelm me with Okada, and I'm just not fully impressed. But what do you think? Are you a little bit more optimistic about it than me?
No, I'm not gonna lie. When they announced it, I was like, I hate when they call things tournaments that aren't tournaments. Also, like, this isn't a tournament. It's qualifying matches for a triple threat match. I'd rather them call it what it is, but it's not a tournament. So, like, it bothers me when they call things tournaments. And also, like, I kind of rather see, to be honest with you, a tag match with Okada and Takeshita versus, like, real enemies of the Callis family where they can't work together, and then that's how it even gets more and more built up. Like, doing this, I just have them go one-on-one. Having the third person there also kind of is just dumb to me. Like, it's clearly going to be Okada. It's clearly going to be Takeshita. So I'm not really a fan of it. I'm sure the match is going to be good because they always are. But, like, story-wise, I'm not invested.
Yeah, it's just more of Okada being there to be a showcase once a month kind of thing, and just whatever. It is what it is. So, all right. Next up, we have
awesome.
Adam Page, Kyle Fletcher is official for All Out for the AEW World Title, and this one definitely feels. Trying to be nice about it. This one feels like a pivot. It feels random. Does not feel like it was the plan at all. And it makes me wonder what closes the show. It's probably the coffin match. But
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, listen, this is another example of the match will be fine. The match will be good. It just, this doesn't feel, I don't know. I don't really This one doesn't really jump out at me. What do you think?
My problem is that I get they have history, but to like, okay. So my problem with the Page storyline that's recently been happening is that I understand he's trying to be the hero, but to have him pretend to be so emotionally invested in people that he hasn't talked to or like been on screen friends with for years in some cases is kind of where it's falling flat for me. I get it. Omega got taken out and you want to get revenge for Omega, but like I don't think that's a pay-per-view main event storyline when you haven't talked to Omega or just recently rehashed with Omega in like the last week or two. So like another place where I'm not that invested in it, but like I know the match is going to be good. It'll be cool that, you know, supposedly there's no Callis family involved, so it'll be a nice one-on-one match. And it's another cool stepping stone for Fletcher because like he's not going to win it, but they're going to showcase, they're going to put him on the bright spot, see how he is in a main event match, and then in a year or two he's going to be the guy. So I'm this whole pay-per-view, I think, oh, actually, no, sorry. The main event's going to be Cope and Christian versus FTR.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was wondering that. I think it's the Coffin.
You think? I don't know. Why not put the two supposedly, like, arguably greatest tag teams, hometown heroes? I think that might be it.
I agree. I would do that. But, well, we shall see, I guess. But because it is hard to close a show with the Coffin, I guess.
Yeah. Real quick, Jay DeFalco says, Don Callis on commentary trying to put over Okada and Takeshi at the same time will be fun.
So
I will also say this will be the second pay-per-view in a row, and however you feel about it, lights out, blah, 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 but the second pay-per-view in a row where the world title will not be main eventing the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but, yeah. All right, either way.
Yeah, two more things you said?
Yeah, so, well, just one more thing, really. So I feel like they've done this before. Stipulation, and I can't recall if it was I think it was either during Kenny's time or with Jericho. So they did this before with someone. I think they're going to run this back. I think they're going to do the bit where, despite the stipulation, Don Callis still comes out to try and help and cost Kyle the match. And Kyle's like, I told you I had this. You told me you weren't going to come out. You still came out. You cost me. And I think this is leading to both Takeshita and Fletcher kind of ascending as babies and getting out of the Callis family. And that's where I think they're going. I think Callis is going to do something, or someone from the Callis family is going to come out on Don's orders and fuck this up for Fletcher. And Kyle's going to be like, yo, like, I told them whatever. So that's what I think they're doing. What do you think?
So real quick, because I just spaced out. Did I just say Jay DeFalco's comment?
You did.
Okay, cool. So because of that, that reminded me that Don Callis is going to be on commentary for Fletcher as well. And I think that's just going to be how he gets involved. Even though he's not ringside, he's commentary. And then at one point, he's going to get involved with it. And I didn't think about that, but I do. Thanks, Jay. I do like that they're going to break away, because as cool as it is that he has this family, he has too many quote-unquote main event stars or future main event guys for it to actually like work. So eventually you need to get one or two guys out of there. So if these are the two, I think that'll be good. I like that, but we'll see how I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't think Callis will be on commentary. I mean, I'm sure they'll bring it up.
Okay.
I think they'll bring it up before All Out, but they did make it clear leave them in the back, and that implies he doesn't come out at all. Even
That's
as
fair.
That, but we'll see. Yeah.
Speaking of commentary, really quick, how'd you like Danielson now that he's announced as full-time commentator? What do you think of that?
He's fine. I don't mind it. I mean, I like him being on. The only thing I will say is the same thing I kind of said with Cole. Just I don't need him being the entrance pop every week on TV.
Yes, I agree. I think that'll stop after a while. I think it was this time because it was the first week that he was full time. I also think that clearly this is sorry, let me re-ask that. How long until this leads to some feud where he gets back in the ring?
That I don't know, because he's even made it clear to say if he interferes in any matches, he's fired. He said that last night. And then also we'll get to it with one of the later points. But yeah, we'll save that for later on.
Okay.
Okay, so excuse me. Young Bucks. Just yet again, I continue to be befuddled by what Moxley sees in them as a value. Like, yeah, okay, they got the win last night and got the money, but like it continues to confuse me at least.
So
Um,
I'm trying to look at it differently to make it make more sense for myself.
okay, that's fine.
What I'm trying to think is that Moxley doesn't have any more allies besides just the few Death Riders. He doesn't have any more power because he lost the belt. And he's trying to get the Young Bucks on his side because if they get back to what they used to be, which was the greatest tag team in the world, then he has two strong allies. So this is like Moxley kind of scrapping at the bottom of the barrel just to get some backup because he sees the whole locker room is turned on him. So looking at from that lens, what I hope eventually happens is that he keeps driving them and pushing them and trying to make them whatever and trying to make them more vicious or more Death Ridery, and then that is how they do the face turn. Because right now with this story, the only endpoint if they continue it is that the Young Bucks either get EVP status back or they're just heels eventually that are good again. I don't know. Like, neither one of those makes sense. What does make sense, which we talked about, is I eventually turn babyface, and that's really the only way I could think of them turning babyface is of finally like standing up to Moxley and being like, "That's enough. You know, we're standing up for AEW again." So that's how I'm looking at it. But that's with no clues from what they've shown us on TV.
Yeah, I guess you know what though. I guess you got me thinking, and I think Excalibur or someone said it on commentary last night, but it brings up a good point. I think he did say how like between them and like Garcia or someone else, like they're easy to manipulate right now.
Yeah,
And
because also
use the money to get out of them what he needs. I guess. Yeah, I guess the point is that he doesn't see anything in them. They're just a means to an end to help, but whatever.
Because also think about it, besides like Gabe Kidd and his allies who aren't technically AEW wrestlers, like who else would they have for these 4 or 5 man tags and stuff that's consistently happen, these all-star matches. So that's how I was thinking of it.
All right. And then my last thing to bring up is just a question that was proposed to me by one of our viewers. Do you think somebody in particular is behind all of these entrants, like gimmick, messing with them, doing all these things with the screens and the whatever? Do you think it's intended to be somebody, or is it just the guys in the back messing with them for what they did? What are your thoughts?
I don't know, because like it is technically supposed to be the production crew getting their payback and stuff like that. I kind of hope that's all it is, because if it's someone in the back messing with him, the only person who it's the anonymous Raw GM. Thank you, Freebird. That was great. Oh, no. But if it is someone back messing with him, the only person who has that power is Kenny or Tony. And Kenny, we're supposed to be led to believe, is hurt a lot of the time, storyline wise. So this is TK doing this. I don't know. That seems weird.
Yeah, no. The only thing that was proposed, the only thing that it made me think of, and I've been thinking this, but didn't want to say it because it didn't really feel like it had legs. But since this was proposed to me, it made me kind of say it out loud. Was I had the thought of, what if it's Orange Cassidy? Mainly because, and this is purely the only reason, the font that they were using early on, like to mess with them.
Yeah.
Like in the Titantron, like the screens and stuff. It was straight up like Orange Cassidy's font on like shirts and his screen. So I get it's probably just the same graphic designer that works for them doing the same segments. But I saw it and I was like, ooh, maybe it's just Orange Cassidy messing with the Bucks. I don't know.
That'd be so much fun.
It's probably not. I think it's just the boys in the back having a good time.
Yeah, same.
All right, next up.
My thought is OC returns at the coffin match.
Okay.
I just want OC back. I don't care when when.
I thought he was still pretty hurt, though.
Yeah, I think we looked at it. I think we said that he tore a pec in March. So I think that takes a few months just to heal, let alone, like, get back to full strength. It's only been... we're in September, so that's about 6 months. Actually, 6 months, maybe. Yeah. How long? Well, no, and his was much worse, but Cody wasn't out for like a year. Cody was out for 6 to something months. So maybe.
So it could be. I'm
resetting for Hook, yeah.
That's fine. 2 weeks ago, it was reported he was cleared. All right.
Let's go.
Hook cut a promo. from a New York City rooftop with the fire going, and I guess it's safe to say that it it pretty much wiped out any hesitations I had last week about the segment. If you were here, you know that we talked about it, and I kind of took it a different way, where Joe was like, "You weren't ready." So we got somebody else, and like I took it more as like you weren't ready as a wrestler, whereas it was more of the literal sense of like you literally were not good to go.
Yeah.
So I feel like Hook kind of cleared that up a little bit this week with the segment. So I'm fine with moving on from that thought process.
You know what's
But I
funny
found
though?
yeah.
I kind of wanted him to still be like mad with them and still kind of like it seems like he's moving on from them, and I was like, like I enjoyed possibly like Hook getting his own crew to like face the ops because he's still pissed at them, and that could still happen. But like the way the promo was last night, it's kind of like, all right, I get it, you still got my back, but
Well, and that's exactly it. At the very end, he said, "Okay, maybe it's finally time for me to be on my own." Then he paused and said, "Or maybe not." So, kind of implying that he could be joining up with some people. And again, I think that kind of goes into my next point and what I think is happening before our very eyes. I think Moxley's being, I guess the word is usurped, and I think a new generation of like a heel group is rising up underneath our noses with Hook, with Garcia, with Stat, probably even Yuta. I
maybe
think
even.
something's coming.
What do you think about Willow? Because of that little
No,
promo she had last night.
no. I
Okay,
think she's set. I think she's if Stat's joining it, Willow's going to be like the one to go against her in that.
that's fair.
But maybe I'm off. Maybe it's something different. But either way, we'll see. To be continued with Hook. And lastly, that brings us to our last point.
Well, hold on.
For the evening.
Sorry. For the Hook stuff, if he doesn't join Death Riders, I think he has to lead the next group. Because like,
Well, I want to point out this isn't Hook joining the Death Riders.
sorry,
This is a whole
the new
whole new thing.
Yeah, the new whatever. The new. Well, also I think that's gonna be led by Wheeler Yuta, right? Like, I don't think.
I don't think. Well, I don't think it'll be led by anybody. That's the point.
They always say that, but they're always someone who emerges. Anyway, so if Hook doesn't join with them, then I think he has to. I don't think he can join a group. He has to lead. Like he has to be the leader of a faction if he's gonna go with another faction that's not them. So we'll see. But I'd much rather. I like your idea where he joins Daniel Garcia and all them. All right, next point.
Yeah, last point now for the evening. Last night after our main event, Darby Allin came out, was going after Moxley. Well, first off, a little quick rewind. This was originally my first point of the week, and then last night's ending happened, and I moved it to the last point of the week. So I forgot about Collision. But Garcia and Mox fought once again on Collision. And Garcia lost. Great match. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Mox beat Garcia again. Garcia was very distraught, upset, pissed off, pushed off Menard, walked away. I believe Tony tried to get a promo with him, and I think he cut a promo again. I forget. Or if he just walked away. Either way. And that led to what happened last night, where Darby Allin was in the ring about to attack Mox, and Daniel Garcia jumps in the ring with a black hoodie on, takes out Darby, stands there for like a split second, throws the hood off. Big reveal, Danny Garcia, now a heel, presumably with the Death Riders full on, left with Mox and Marina together out of the arena, and beat the hell out of Darby, left him laying. So, yeah, I mean, my only note really on the whole thing, first off, I'm glad they did the spot again. You could see they messed it up the first time with Darby hitting the chair face first, and then you see Garcia look at Mox and go like one more, and I wish he just did it, but I'm glad he kind of, I guess, knew to ask and do it again to make the spot look good and right. My only other note, and I'm being nitpicky here, because I know it's only like less than 1,000 fans. I kind of expected the reaction to his reveal to be a little bit louder and crazier. Like, they reacted, but it was a little underwhelming for me. I'm being nitpicky, I know, but I know they're in a small venue. But what do you think? What were your thoughts?
That's fair. I was kind of shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting Garcia. Even though we talked about it, I still wasn't expecting this soon, or I was expecting, I guess, a different kind of reveal. So, I do like it. I think that does give it more of a fresh, fresh air, fresh feel, but we gotta see where it goes, kind of thing. Because if he's joining the current Death Riders, it sucks. But if it's what you're thinking, where it's like a kind of an uprising, or what Jay DeFalco says, AEW's version of the New Blood stable, then I'm way more interested. So we'll see kind of where it goes from here. And also then that we were talking about before, that brings us into the Hook scenario, because if you're teaming Yuta, probably Claudio, because I feel like Claudio and Yuta kind of go hand in hand together. I don't know why.
No,
you don't think so?
You'd have to split them at this point.
All right.
I just had a huge kind of Jimmy Neutron brain blast kind of moment. What if Danielson's leading the stable and his baby faces? What if they double flip and bring Garcia back and everyone back?
He's their manager, because obviously he's not full time. I would fucking love that.
Only because here are two other things I want to bring up. Mox did not make any eye contact with Danielson at the commentary booth. He looked at the other two, but did not look at Danielson. So he's avoiding eye contact with him still. And I wanted to go back and rewatch it. I did not. I think since Garcia came out, the rest of the show, I don't think Danielson said one word. So, just something. My gut says no, but it's something fun to think about.
And also, just because we keep bringing Yuta into this, Yuta's really the only one he talks about very consistently. Obviously, because he turned his back on them and stuff, but he keeps making sure that's brought up, and he talks about Yuta very specifically. Danielson was the devil all along.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of iffy on it. It's weird to do another heel, because in that case you're turning Death Rider's face, and so I don't know.
Well,
I'm probably wrong, but it's just fun to think about.
What I assumed would have happened was, and that's why I thought Claudio would have to go with Yuta, because I assumed they would turn on Moxley, take him out, and give Moxley a month or a few weeks off or whatever. But then that leaves Mira and Claudio. Where do they go? So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we will find out soon. I think Darby does beat Mox next week, and I think that coffin burial thing, that might be a good way to write him off for a little bit. But I mean, they didn't do a write off after all in.
I mean,
so
if they do that though, then we're adding some more elements to that, because if they do that, you have to have Hook and Yuta debut with Garcia at that point. You can't just have it be Garcia on his own if they're going to take out Moxley in that coffin, and that'll be the write-off. So you kind of have at least one of them, if not both, kind of show that it this is the strong new stable. And then also you get involved in Darby's thing. I don't know. Because Darby's not going to be a part of it. Unless they really are just a face stable, but that would be weird to put Darby in the stable.
No, I think this has to be a very new. Hell, I was even considering adding Bowens to this thing, a real the young upcomer kind of thing, and I think that's what works. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, this is going to be a good story.
For all we know, this may not even end up being another stable.
It's just Garcia joining Death Riders, and it's done.
It feels like they're kind of planting the seeds, though.
No, I agree with Hook and stuff. I think they're doing it. Yeah, I like the Danielson thing. I think that's another fun idea.
You know what? And my last thing I'll say, and then I'm done for the night, I promise. It's so easy to do heel stables these days. I miss the babyface stables. That's why I love conglomeration so much. But what that Skyflight stable isn't really taking off.
Also they're not really showcasing as much as they should be.
That's my point. That's why they're not being given a chance yet as a baby. That's what we need. You have the conglomeration, you have trios, but I'm talking these big stables, 4 or more people. I miss the babyface ones kind of forming, and because it's easier to do all the heel stables and the faces kind of come together all the time. But a nice face stable all the time would be really nice to have.
I agree.
But, oh well.
All right, folks. With that, we are done. It's 8:00. Look at that. Started on time, ending on time. Beautiful. Yeah. Join us on Monday for the Marty Jannetty Invitational, where Till 5 will be our deciding vote if it comes to a tie or our clean sweep. But please join us Monday, 7 p.m. We got to beat Raw. So 7 p.m. Join us on Monday. See you guys then. Peace out, everybody.